Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Section 8. Today at Section 8, this is our second video. I'm hoping to lose count at some point, but our second video is going to be on my EDC, my everyday carry firearm, and that's what I use for concealed carry. Little history about my firearm history and training. I grew up with firearms. My father was a 25-year Navy veteran, so I started off with a BB gun, a pellet gun, and went my way up. It's a small arms rifle with a 22, and eventually went to a 50 cal black powder rifle hunting when I was 16, 17 year old, bagging deer. And from there I went into the Army, and that's where for 8 years I was both active duty and National Guard, trained on a slew of weapon systems. Really great training, great drills, and then from there I went over to a sheriff's department in the county and the state where I live, and from there went to bail bonding with a small team of fellas that I put together, and pretty much that's it after that. I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the training, regiments. I still have guys that are still in that I would love to hook up with. Just finding the time to see what training regiments are out there that have newly been implemented. But I don't have all the answers. What I do know and what I use and how I shoot work. But I still watch a lot of YouTube channels out here on YouTube. Guys, like Travis Healy, Ken Hackathorn, Larry Vickers, and Pat McNamara, and a lot of these other vet guys who have been in it longer than I have and put out a lot of training videos and training regiments for rifles and firearms, and I watch those, and I definitely encourage you to. When I go to the range with some of my buddies and I put out videos for that, I'll explain some of the drills I'm doing, and again, it may not necessarily be the right thing for you, but it's the right thing for me. But my hope is that and prayer is that for those of you who do carry and have rifles at home, that you use them correctly, safely, and effectively to protect yourself, your family, your way of life, your home, your property. So that being said, my very first firearm I ever bought for myself was a Glock 19. It was a Gen 1 or Gen 2, and I absolutely hated the thing. It was a brick, it was heavy, shot like crap, and I didn't keep it for longer than 2 months. And I think I sold it for $300. I hated it that bad. And from there, right about shortly after I sold it, I went to the sheriff's department here in the state that I live in, and their issued firearm was a SIG P229. Loved it. Great firearm. The greatest thing I loved about it was that it was a 40 caliber and 357 SIG barrel, and you could shoot both. And I am a big fan of 357 SIG round. Only complaint about it was just a tad heavy, but other than that, it was just a great firearm. It was fun to shoot, very accurate. And I bought one when I got out of the sheriff's department, used it as bail bonding for the few years I did that, and then came across a little extra money, and I bought a 1911. It cost me about $1,300, but it was a Kimber, and hands down, I've owned 3 of them. I can't speak of a better 1911 than a Kimber. There are some that are out there that are nicer. Wilson Combat, Christensen makes a 1911, but you're talking about a $5,000 1911. Wilson Combat, you're talking about $2,000 roughly. So they're out there, but they're great, very reliable, and just an joy to shoot. They're longest running firearm in history. When I met my wife, she had a Glock, and I told her immediately to get rid of that thing. She didn't want to get rid of it. Took it to the range and shot well, but her Glock was just being destroyed by the recaps that we were shooting. And and she claimed it was because it was dirty and she didn't get to clean it yet. And you know, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. Quick shout out to my wife. I love you, honey. You're a great shot. I wouldn't marry anybody who couldn't shoot well. But now we're back to being Glock owners. I bought a Glock a couple months ago, about a year ago. Cut it up and did some modifications to it, and I was like, you know what, this isn't that bad. It was a 19 Gen 4, and just had a blast shooting it. And times got hard for us for a little bit, and I had to unfortunately sell it. And things got better for us towards Christmas of last year. Some things got resolved, and I was able to buy one for myself and for her. But what I've got now is, again, it's a Glock 19 Gen 4, and I pretty much went to town on it. I bought it. I just want to make sure that you guys understand there is no magazine in the well. The firearm is clear. What I bought was, obviously it's 19 Gen 4. I bought it from a company called Yeti Firearms. Now, Glock generally did not make a two-tone like this that I know of. It was either the all FDE tan. Yeti Firearms is out of Arizona, and they did the OD green frame and the FDE tan slide. And it's even gone as far, the inside of the frame has all been Cerakoted as well, and that's all they do. They do special orders. You know, if you wanted one that was all green or whatever, I've seen some on their site, a Stormtrooper Glock where it's all white and has the imprintings of a Stormtrooper suit. I've seen purple and black, green and black. My wife has the Tiffany Glock. It's a 26, you know, with a satin slide. She loves it. You know, what I've done to it after the fact is I bought a Larry Vickers Wilson Combat tactical sight on it, and absolutely great. For the value and the cost, you can't beat it. Accuracy improved with it. It's a raised sight in the front, so if I wanted to buy a threaded barrel for a suppressor, I could use one. I hate the word silencer. I don't know why people call it a silencer. It's a damn suppressor. Get it right. And then from there, I got a Larry Vickers extended mag release, extended slide release, and then I bought an extended slide, takedown slide, or slide removal, whatever you want to call it. It's escaping me right now. I bought that from Glock Store, no big deal. But all the mag release and the slide release came from Larry Vickers. Keynote, if you ever were to buy a Cerakoted Glock, one thing I did learn was that on the slide releases, or not slide releases, the mag wells, you need to sand it down if they Cerakote the inside of the frame. I believe in it as far as Cerakoting the inside. It shows that they care, but it took some sanding down and filing, because otherwise it would get stuck when you would press it. It would just get stuck in that position and it wouldn't come back out, and I wouldn't be able to put a magazine back in. The last thing I did was internal side of the house, I wanted to do a trigger job on it, but I didn't really know what to do. I'd done some homework and was reading around, and I found through Ken Hackenworth, one of his videos he put out, military guy, veteran, I mean, great knowledge on tons of firearms. He's with a company called GlockTriggers.com. I'll put them down in the bottom as well, and they put out triggers. And what it is, it's an OEM Glock trigger that is balanced and polished to perfection. And they give you, depending on the kit that you bought, I wanted to do the Ken Hackenworth kit because for the cost you got more of an option. It came with two springs, a 5 pound and a 6 pound, and you got the safety plunger spring, as well, a lighter safety plunger spring, and the safety plunger itself was polished. And then you got the 3.5 pound trigger bar. And the other thing that I did was I got the competition trigger spring inside here. I mean, this thing is barely, you don't feel it at all. The only other two things I did was I polished the feed ramp myself, and I polished the firing pin. That was it. And I haven't done anything to this at all, and it shoots like a dream. Yeah, it's a 9, but I'm telling you, this thing is just killer. And I don't intend on getting rid of it anytime soon. I love this thing. Very accurate. It's a joy to shoot. Very, you know, it's just enjoyable for a Glock. And I found for years, for me to say that is just rare, but I love it. And lastly, the other thing that I use is my holster, and my wife carries the same exact holster. Obviously not for the 19 because hers is a 26, but we went with the Phantom holster from Raven Concealment. Folks, this holster is it. I'm telling you, the only thing out there that I would think that would be better is a G-code holster. I love the G-codes, but I didn't want to wait 6 to 8 weeks turnaround time. And this came to us within a matter of days of ordering it. It's the Phantom holster from Raven Concealment. This thing, if I put it back on, even if I'm wearing a t-shirt, I generally don't necessarily wear my t-shirts tight per se. I buy an extra large and it shrinks down, you know, somewhere between a large, extra large. There's no imprinting. It hugs so tight to my hip. And I went with the belt loops itself. Now, they call it the angel wings, I believe. I carry outside the waistband all the time. I really do. For years I carried inside the waistband, and I got tired of it. It's too much of a hassle from a drawing perspective to me. And it's the best $99 holster I've ever bought. You have tons of options for the straps, if you will, for the holster. It can go inside the waistband and outside depending on the straps. The straps are not expensive. You're probably only talking about $5-10 for different styles of straps for your holster. It comes in many different colors. You know, my wife was a little concerned about, you know, with the Incogs from G-Code, they have the felt lining. This did not, and she didn't want Cerakoting to be coming off. And I do a lot of dry fire practicing in the house when I'm out and about, and I go to the range a lot, so there are typical wear patterns on mine. But if you're not doing a lot of drawing, you know, and stuff like that, then it's not really going to happen. But it's a firearm, it's going to happen. But yeah, I would totally recommend this for the money. They do have a high dollar side of it though, where there's one that they're developed with Ken Hackenworth, and Larry Vickers has a set as well from them, but they're about $200 either way. But with their set, it's styled the same way. It's required that you get certain style of clips, so to speak, with it, and then you get 2 magazines or magazine holsters. For my magazine holsters, I just went with a simple little Glock, nothing fancy. But I will put the link for everything I've done on my EDC, on my Glock, down in the bottom. And yeah, you know, I'd love to hear what you use. If you want to post pictures, if you have questions about mine, give me a shout, give me a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. Again, you know, press subscribe, pass my channel around. I've got tons of ideas for videos coming up that are going to be real fun. Just some crack up videos and some serious ones coming up for things that are going on. I've got a lot of questions out there that I want to ask as far as with parenting. You know, with my 3 kids, I want to know how you do things. So give me a shout, you know, send me a comment, send me a message, hit subscribe, and pass the channel around. So thanks a lot, take care, be safe, and have a great day. Talk to you next time.